we are going to go live with this week live training with today I was discovering ABC models for long-term success. In just a few seconds, we are going to go live with today weekly training. My name is Rupa Patil, and weekly training for all about ABC long-term. right, welcome to the free weekly training with me, Rupa Patil, and I am super excited to be here today. Once again, for those of you who are joining me for the first time, my name is Rupa Patil. I'm an international business mentor, author, trainer, and speaker. And I am on a mission to support at least 10,000 heart centered entrepreneurs to grow their income and impact. And that is the reason why I do this 100% free live training every single week. And what are my trainings all about? Typically, this is the success pyramid on which I work. So that means everything that I do, my live workshops, my questions, Nazia says not audible. Hey Nazia, let me know if you can hear me now, because generally when I share the computer audio, typically you will not be able to hear me. But right now you should be able to hear me. Can you confirm, Nazia, if you can hear me all right? By the way, thank you so very much. Yes, Nazia, thank you very much. High five to you for letting me know. So once again, whatever training I do, I typically do it on one of these three areas. What I mean by that is most of my trainings are either around your personal growth. And whose pyramid is this? This is your pyramid. So your personal growth, your income growth, your impact growth. So typically, whatever I do as a business mentor, as a trainer, as an author, as a speaker, everything that I do is typically to help you and support you around these areas. So today I'm excited that you have decided to join me here. So many of you are watching this live. Type in a hello so that I know that you actually value these trainings, and my intention is to help you create the ultimate results in these areas, ultimate results in your personal growth, in your income growth, in your impact growth. So if you would love to create ultimate results in your life, thank you very much, Nazia. If you would like to create ultimate results in your life, type into the chat box, you are for ultimate results. Do you want to create ultimate results in your life? So once again, my name is Rupa Patil, and every single week I do once, and as of now, I'm doing it. I don't know how long I will be doing this. Once again, it depends on how many of you are getting benefited with these trainings. If I see that not many of you are getting benefited, then I will switch back to my one-on-one model, my online training modules, my Heart Leaders Club. But those of you who are using this training, unless and until you tell me that you're implementing, you're learning, and you value these trainings, there's no point in me doing these trainings. But once again, for those of you who are watching me live, thank you very much. Nazia, thank you very much for staying active. I see a couple of you are already watching me live. So type into the chat box, hello, so that I can call out your name, and make sure that your name is exactly what your YouTube handle says. Once again, earlier I used to do this as live trainings inside of my private Facebook groups. So if you're wondering which training, where do I find the previous week's training modules, you have to just go into my Heart Leaders, Transformational Heart Leaders group on Facebook. So without any further ado, let me remind you what today's training is all about. So I am watching here because I have a second screen here, and I can see all your beautiful chat messages. Even those of you who are watching this as a recording, nobody stops you from chatting and conversing with me. I promise I'm committed to read every single comments, every single message there as much as I can. So please type in hashtag replay if you're watching this as a replay. And let us see. All right, perfect. So once again, what is today's training all about? If you know, and thank you very much once again for those of you who are watching this as a replay, watching this as live. So do you know that 90% of people walking on this planet do not even aim for long-term success? So that means they are sabotaging their every single chance for that long-term success. And typically 90% of these people fail because they miss out on one of the three elements. What three elements? I am going to share with you, unlock all these three elements one by one. And today I'm going to share with you the ABC model for long-term success, not for short-term, not for overnight success, but ABC model for long-term success. So before I unlock this model for you, let me tell you what other things you're going to get. Today, in this training, I'm going to share with you how to gain clarity and focus. Clarity and focus on the path of your long-term success. The second thing that you'll learn is how to stay consistent, because many people start, but as I said, 90% of the people will give up right in the first year. And these are not some statistics that I have made up. Go ahead and Google for how many startups fail in the first year. And you'll be shocked and even saddened to know that over 90% of startups fail right in their first year. So the first thing that you learn is how to gain clarity and focus. That's the first thing. Second thing that you will gain is how to maintain consistency, how to stay consistent on your long-term success path. The third thing that you will learn is how to stay ahead of others, how to stay ahead of the curves. That could be the people whom you're competing against in your industry as a business owner, or it could also be those who are in your job, who are in your company. How to overcome, how to overtake them. By the way, one of my last week's training was 3 steps to overtake your competition. That is also free of cost. Go ahead and search that through in my YouTube channel to get access, free access to these trainings. By the way, I do not do free trainings at all. This is the only exception. Even those of you who would have probably booked one free call with me, and I will be giving all these links inside the video description on YouTube or whichever platform you're watching this on. But typically, if you were to book a call with me and if I were to train you, either one-on-one or one-to-many, whether it is me traveling within the city of Bangalore. By the way, which city are you dialing in from? Type in the name of your city, type in the name of your country. Let me know where you're dialing in from. So what I was saying is whether I'm doing these trainings online, that is, in a platform like this, whether I'm doing it for my own community or external, my partner's community, or whether I'm doing it within the city of Bangalore. Kirti, hi, Dr. Kirti in the house from Bangalore. Amazing. Nazia, you're also from Bangalore. That's amazing. So whether I'm doing these kind of trainings online or offline, whether in my city of Bangalore or whether I'm traveling to the neighboring cities or other states, I do not do free of cost trainings anymore. I used to do that early when I had, early on when I had just got started as a business mentor. But 5 years later, I do not do any free trainings, except for these weekly trainings that I have started. But very soon, these free weekly trainings will be limited only for the paid members of my Heart Leaders Club. Like Dr. Kirti is a paid member of Heart Leaders Club. And those of you who are watching this as a replay, type in hashtag Heart Leaders. If you are already a member of Heart Leaders Club, type in hashtag Heart Leaders. Or type in hashtag Heart Leaders, plural, hashtag Heart Leaders. Type in hashtag Heart Leaders if you want to become a heart-centered entrepreneur, a heart-centered leader who is driven not just by income, but also by impact. Type in hashtag Heart Leaders. Thank you very much, Kirti, Dr. Kirti. Type in Dr. Keith. Type in hashtag Heart Leaders if you would like to climb this success pyramid. If you would like to create your own personal success, type in hashtag Heart Leaders. Even if you're watching this as a recording, type in hashtag Heart Leaders if you would like to create exponential income and create massive impact on not only your current clients or team members or community, but also a wider set of network, whether it is in your city, in your country, in your continent, or across the 5 to 6 continents. Type in hashtag heart leaders. And thank you very much. So without any further ado, let us begin today's training. As I said, in today's training is all about unlocking the ABCs of long-term success. This is not a short-term success. What are the three elements to create your personal long-term success? And if you have been with me in any of my trainings, if you have watched me perform, speak from the stages, if you have communicated with me, if you are one of my business mentees, you know very well that I typically give you the why. Why do we do what we do? The why behind the training. I also give you the high level overview, that is the strategic direction, but I also give at least one tactical step that you can implement to take everything from this training and go ahead and implement and create your own path for long-term success. Okay, so you're going to get the why, you're going to get the strategy, and you're going to get tactic. Type into the chat box ready. If you feel ready, if you are ready to receive, type in ready into the chat box. And I'm loving the energy that I'm seeing on the chat box. Even those of you who are watching this as a recording, stay active, stay in complete energy, because this is how we learn. By the way, thank you. Thank you. And those of you who don't know, as of now, at this moment of time, I'm having fever. Okay. But that fever is not coming between you and me, because I am 100% committed to serving you. My question you, are you 100% ready to receive what you're going to get so that you can unlock the ABC of your long-term success? I love that energy. Thank you, Nazia. Thank you, Dr. Kirti. And those of you who are the silent spectators, give me a thumbs up, give me a like. Invite other people to join you in this training, even if you are watching this as a replay. Do invite others, because as I said, this is the only time when I do these trainings for free. Okay, so if you are ready, because I see so many of you are already ready. So because you are ready to receive, I am ready to serve you. So before I could share with you what does A, B, C, and today I have those cards for you. Once again, A, B, C. I'm going to give you all of that to create your long-term success. But first, let us begin with A. Once you unlock the A of the ABC model, once you unlock A, type in the letter A. Type in capital A into the chat box. Once you unlock the ABC, the A of the ABC model for creating long-term success, you are automatically going to unlock two important ingredients. And once again, this is not an exclusively, rather, it is not an inclusive model. There are so many elements, but in this short training, remember, these are free weekly trainings. If you were to implement all this and create your own success model, do book that first free call with me, and I will show you the path to create your long-term success. But type in the letter A. Thank you very much, Dr. Kirti. Thank you very much, Nazia. Type in letter A into the chat box, because once you unlock the letter A of the ABC model for creating your long-term success, you are going to unlock two important things. And these are your key ingredients towards the foundation. And that is clarity and focus. Clarity and focus. Type these two words inside the chat box. Type in A and in bracket, write in clarity and focus. Because once you unlock the A, once you start mastering the A, you're automatically going to get the clarity of what your long-term success should look like. And you will be able to create a focused vision. So type in clarity and focus, because once you unlock A, you're automatically going to get the clarity and focus for creating your long-term success path. Thank you very much. And this A in the ABC model stands for aim with clarity. So this little is a symbol for with. Aim with clarity. So please type that into the chat box. A equals aim with clarity. So in order to create clarity about your long-term success, you need to aim. And in order to aim, you need to do one thing very, very specifically. Now, again, is this applicable to your business? Absolutely, yes. But right now, I want you to focus on your personal long-term success. And I am going to tell you what is clarity. I'm going to tell you what is aim. But remember, I told you first, I'm going to give you the strategy. And then I'm going to give you at least one tactic, at least one tip. Thank you very much, Dr. Kirti. So the aim with clarity, how do you aim with clarity? There are many, many, many different ways. But at this point of time, I want you to focus, remember, focus on getting the clarity. And the way to do that, and here comes your number one tip of the day. The first tip of the day is create your own SMART goals. I want all of you to write into the chat box SMART goals. SMART. What does SMART stands for? And by the way, those of you who are watching this as a recording, those of you who are watching this as live, I'm super happy. Thank you very much for doing that. And now type into the chat box SMART goals. And I'm not going to take your time, but I am going to tell you that you can literally take this information, go ahead and Google it, go ahead and chat GPT it, go ahead and ask Bing, take whatever search engine that you use and look up for SMART goals if you're already not aware of it. But those of you who are already aware of it, you know it very well. What SMART goal stands for is having a very clear, very focused goal for yourself. And SMART is an acronym that stands for specific, measurable. Yes, yes, Dr. Kirti, correct. Thank you very much. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. If your goal does not have these 5 elements, chances are you will never achieve this goal because you do not have a goal, you just have a dream. And your dream is just a wishful thinking. So the question is, do you have your SMART goal? This is my goal card. And as you can see, I had created this goal card in October of 2023. Yes, I generally create my next year's goal in the last quarter of every year. And that is when I had created this goal card. And the beauty of goal card, and this is what I would want you to do as well. So the number one assignment that you can commit to take, and write into the chat box, I commit. Write into the chat box, I commit. If you commit to creating your own goal card, the reason why having your own goal card based, your goals, again, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time bound, go ahead and look up for SMART, SMART goals and create one for yourself. If you're not sure how to go about it, reach out to me or comment into the chat box, GSI. GSI, comment that into the chat box. GSI stands for Goal Setting Intensive. I do have, thank you very much. I do have a very beautifully and meticulously designed workshop that literally holds your hands and help you create your own SMART goal for the entire of 12 months. Doesn't matter if you're watching this recording 2 years from now, 5 years from now. Goal Setting Intensive, type in GSI if you want my help in helping you create your SMART goals. And thank you very much for those of you who have mentioned I commit. So commit to creating your own goal card, because once you create your goals, the universe says, ask and it shall be given. Seek and you shall find. And knock and it shall be open. And these two mantras are my favorite mantras. So create your goal card like this. And that is your number one step. That is A of ABC. And that is aim with clarity. And the simplest way to do that is creating your own SMART goals. Create your goal card. Type into the chat box goal card. CARD. Create your own goal card. That is your number one assignment. And type in learning. If you are learning something new, type in that. Asif Anwar is back. Hey Asif, lovely seeing you again. Type in learning into the chat box. And those of you who have just joined us live on YouTube Live, type in a hello, just the way how Asif have mentioned. Type in hello so that I know that you have joined us live. Today we are discussing the three ingredients, the ABC of creating your own long-term success. And we have just unlocked A. What does A stand for? Who can tell me what does A stands for? Statistics. Yes, lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, what does A stands for? We just covered it. Who can tell me A stands for? Even those of you who are watching this as a replay, type in what does A stands for. We have just covered it. Once you unlock A, you are going to get clarity and you're going to get focus on your long-term path to success. And A stands for, who can tell me? A stands for aim with clarity. And one of the tips, one of the tactics to implement this information is by creating your goal card. So let us quickly move to the second one, and that is B. Once you unlock B, once you unlock the letter B in the ABC model of creating your long-term success, what you are going to find is the much needed consistency. Much needed consistency. Remember, I told you that 90% of people who start something new, especially entrepreneurs who start their business, 90% of them vanish. They get vanished. They give up or they literally vanish within 1 year. You do not want to be the part of that statistics. And in order to stay put, you need consistency. And today, I'm going to teach you what B stands for. And once you master B, and remember, this is not something that you can learn overnight, but this is something I want you to seed in your mind and start with one tiny step. Just the way that in this step, you're going to create your own goal card. That is vision. And those of you who are not sure how to create goal, reach out to me. And that is, yes, thank you very much, Dr. Kirti. So reach out to me if you need my help in creating goals for yourself, and I will help you with that. We do have an extensive program, intensive program, and that is called as Goal Setting Intensive. So now let's come quickly with to B. Once you unlock B, you will find easy ways to stay consistent. Stay consistent where? Stay consistent on your path to creating long-term success. And in order to stay consistent, the letter B of the ABC model stands for, are you ready? Are you ready? And that is build strong habits. Build strong habits. That is a strategy. All of you know that having great habits is an essential thing. But what you did not know is by building strong habits, it will help you stay consistent on your long-term success path. So now the question is, as I have promised you, by the way, type in box Build strong habits. That is what B stands for. Type these three words. Even those of you watching this as a replay, type in build strong habits. These three words if you want to create long-term success for yourself, long-term personal success, income success, impact success as a leader. Type in build strong habits. Thank you very much. Thank you. So how do you build strong habits? What is that one thing that you can do to create strong habits? Let me see your answer. I'm just, as I said, I've got slight fever. As you can see, I'm sweating. I've just had medicine. But before I could give you one rock solid tip to building strong habits for yourself, let me ask you, what is that you can do to build strong habits? Type your answer into the chat box. How do you build positive habits for yourself? Okay, type that into the chat box. How do you build strong habits? Trying to find something for you. Okay, build strong habits. So how do you build strong habits for yourself? Okay, thank you very much, Nazia, Asif, Dr. Kirti, thank you very much. Nazia, exercise, being positive and smile. Nazia, high five once again to you. I love it. Nazia builds her strong habits by exercising, by being positive and smiling a lot. Nazia, I love people who smile. Everybody loves people who smile, and yet smile is so rare. So rare. Dr. Kirti says determination and repetition. I love it. Love it. Asif is from Saudi Arabia. Thank you very much. All right, perfect. So building strong habits, one of the key, and thank you very much for all your answers. Even those of you who are watching this as a replay, I'm sorry, I will not be able to read out your answers live because, hey, you didn't join us live. But next time, do join me live. Every week, Tuesday, 6 p.m. IST, this time, I go live inside of this YouTube channel. Okay, so coming back to B, what is that you can do to build strong habits? The simplest strategy. Now, I'm still giving you strategy, and I promise I will also give you the tactic, one single step that you can implement. But before I give that, you're most welcome, Nazia. So before I could do that, the simplest strategy to building strong habits is write down the word swap. SWAP. I want all of you to write down the word swap. And what do I mean by swap is whatever, and do not judge yourself just because you have a negative habit right now. These habits can easily be swapped with a positive habit. And now I'm going to give you one rock solid tip that you can start implementing by tomorrow morning or by tonight, depending on whichever part of the globe you are in. So the one simple tip is when you start your day, even before you could touch this evil device called as the phone or your tablet, your tab, even before you could touch those devices, steal those 10 minutes, the first 10 minutes of social media. First 10 minutes of social media every single morning. This is a negative habit because it doesn't help you grow personally. Checking social media is not going to help you build your income, and it is certainly not going to help you become a positive, heart-centered leader. So the tip that I'm giving to you is, thank you very much for all that interaction. The number one tip that I'm giving to you is every single day, just 10 minutes, swap 10 minutes of your social media with meditation, or 10 minutes only for reading your goal card and reading those positive affirmations, or whatever is your positive habits. If you're already doing exercise, maybe put in that first 10 minutes in adding breathing exercises. If you're already doing breathing exercise, swap that 10 minutes of social media with visualization. If you're already doing visualization, swap the first 10 minutes of your social media with affirmations. Read out these messages, such positive messages, loudly for yourself to create ultimate results in your life. Okay, so swap the negative habit with a positive habits. In fact, I want you to write into the chat box mini habits, and I will do that for you as well. Type into the chat box mini habits. Mini habits is for those who want to create new positive habits in their lives, but instead of saying now Nazia, you're already exercising, maybe there are people who are not exercising. Let's say, for example, if I do not exercise and I want to start that because I want to build that strong habit for long-term success, my long-term success, and if I suddenly commit to working out 1 hour a day, I am automatically building psychological resistance. So instead, type into the chat box mini habits. So instead, what I can do is I can tell myself that every single day for the next 60 days, all I'm going to do is I'm going to exercise for 15 minutes. 15 minutes, or I can even say 10 minutes. I am only going to exercise for 10 minutes, and that is my minimum. That is my mini habit. But what will happen? Type your answer into the chat box. What will happen when once I get up, let's say I get up tomorrow morning, and I know that all I'm going to do is I'm going to exercise for 10 minutes. That's it. That's my minimum, and I put on my shoes, I put my yoga mat, I put my music, my dance music. What will happen? What will happen? Give your guesses. What will happen when I start working out, when I start exercising, keeping in mind that I only need to work out for 10 minutes? What will happen once I start exercising? All of you are smart. You know the answer. Chances are I may actually end up exercising for 11 minutes, for 12 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. So this mini habit becomes a strong foundation to build strong habits and most importantly, bring in consistency. So I have given you not one, but two tips. The first tip for building strong habits was swapping your negative habit with a positive one. And the second tip that you have got is having mini habits, creating mini habits to build in consistency. You learned two tips. Yes, type in yes, I am in, or just type in I am in. I am in. If you are in to do these two things, the A and the B. A stands for, once again, A of the ABC model for creating, ABC model for creating your long-term success. I'm doing a quick recap. And at the end, I'm going to ask all of you, what does A stand for? What does B stand for? What does C stand for? Thank you very much, Nazia. So A, what does A stand for? Aim with clarity. And the tip that I have given for doing this is creating your own SMART goals. That is creating your own goal card. That is A, that is aim with clarity. That was A. What did B stand for? B stood for building strong habits. And I gave you two tips, two practical tips to implement to bring in this much needed consistency to stay on the path of your long-term success, because 90% of your competitors, 90% of your friends, 90% of the people whom you love and adore, they are going to give up when they start with a long-term success because it's not easy. I give it. Correct. That is right. So how do we stay consistent? We stay consistent by building strong habits. And I have given you two tips. The number one tip was to swap your negative habits with the positive one. And the second habit Or the second tip was to create mini habits so that you can do it consistently without giving any reasons. Even if I'm traveling, can I take out 10 minutes just to do spot running or spot walking, or do 10 minutes of stretches or 10 minutes of just walking? Of course, chances are, because it is such a small habit of 10 minutes of exercise, I'm not going to give up, which in turn is going to bring in consistency. And that is what A and B stood for. Now, are you ready for C? Because we are talking about ABCs of long-term success. Before I could give you what does C stand for, type into the chat box, what is your one key learning? What did you learn today? Something that you learned from me, or something that your mind said, Kirti, you can do that. Yeah, Nazia, I have been telling you to do that. This is your mind speaking, okay, Nazia? So your mind can say, hey, Nazia, I wanted you to do this for the longest time. Now is the time to get it done. So what was your one key learning? What is your one key takeaway? What is that you're going to do differently starting tomorrow based on this training? Type that into the chat box. Type that into the chat box. Once again, those of you who have just joined us, we are talking about ABCs of long-term success. We have covered A, we have covered B. A will bring into your life, onto your success path. It will bring you clarity, it will bring you focus. B brings to you the much needed consistency so that you do not give up when the going gets tough. And from my personal experience, once you decide that this is the path and you start walking, you will encounter, unfortunately, you will encounter a lot of negative forces and negative people. Some of these people are staying in your house. So yes, it's going to happen. And that is why this ABC is literally the foundation of working on creating your long-term success. I have covered A, I have covered B, and now I'm going to give you C. So what has been your one key learning so far? Type that into the chat box and type a message for me. How are you feeling about these weekly trainings? As I've said, I do not do these free trainings anymore, except for this weekly free trainings, which as of now, I'm giving it out publicly. I don't know how long I will give it to you because I want to limit this as a thank you gift for the paid members of my Heart Leaders Club. So if you want to stay in touch with me and create the success habits, long-term success habits, consider becoming a VIP member of our Heart Leaders Club. So type in what has been your one biggest learning so far. Kirti says consistency, meeting deadlines, never give up on my goals. Very energetic. Thank you very much, Nazia, for your lovely message. So whatever your key learning is, type that into the chat box. And those of you who would want to become a VIP member, here is my link. Become a VIP member and join my Heart Leaders Club. I have given that link in the chat box. Okay, so coming back, let us conclude this training by giving you the C of the ABC model. What does that stand for? Once again, ABC model is my model to create your long-term success. We have covered A, which is aim with clarity. B was consistency, that is, B brings in consistency by building strong habits. And before I could give to you C, let me ask you, let's say that you have already found clarity and focus and consistency on your long-term success. My question is, do you want to walk on this success path? Do you want to jog on this success path? Type into the chat box. Do you want to walk on your long-term success? Or do you want to jog? Or do you want to run? Do you want to take off? Do you want speed? Type into the chat box speed. SPEED, speed. Type in speed into the chat box if you would like to create accelerated growth to reach your ultimate success, to create your ultimate results, to create your ultimate dream life. Type in speed, because this last C of the ABC model for creating your long-term success is a special bonus which will give you how to create accelerated growth. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Kirti. Thank you, Nazia. Type in speed into the chat box, even if you're watching this as a replay, because this, once you unlock what C stands for, and once you start implementing this into your personal and your professional life, you will no longer walk on your success path. You will no longer jog on your success path. You are going to have an exponential growth, also called as accelerated growth. And C of the ABC model stands for commit to growth. There are two important words here, but the most important word, if I were to say the most important word here is, what do you think is the most important word? Commit. And commitment is not 90%. Don't say that, Rupa, I've made my goal card and I'm 90% committed. That will not help. Committing is 100% commitment. So type in the number 100%. Okay. So again, why committing to growth is required? This is how you create accelerated growth. Type into the chat box 100%. And don't worry, I'm going to give you, there are many, many, many tips. Those people who are a part of my Business Income Accelerator Plus program, those people who are the VIP member and all access member with my Heart Leaders Club, they get a one-on-one time with me, and I create accelerated growth path, which is particularly customized to their own success. But right now, in the short duration, I can only give you one high-level strategy and one or two tips each, which I have been doing for ABC model. So before I could give you the tip for creating accelerated growth, type in 100%, because I want you to be 100% committed for your growth. Okay, so I like that. I like that. Thank you very much for those of you who are active, even those of you who are watching this as a replay. And if you're active, this is me giving you lots of love. Thank you very much for being active. So once again, C, this letter C is going to help you create accelerated growth in your long-term success. And this is how you are going to, okay, the how part. How are you going to do that? How are you going to create accelerated growth? How are you going to commit to growth? Here is a simple one sentence. Thank you, Nazia. Thank you, Kirti. Thank you, Asif. Okay. So by doing C, the way you can do C, the way you can commit to your growth is by prioritizing your ongoing education, prioritizing your learning, prioritizing your investment in yourself. Okay. Once again, I'm going to give you a tip right now, but remember, when we talk about accelerated growth, there are people who start on a growth path and they say, this is where I want to go. And then they try to figure it out all by themselves. Don't be one of those people, because sooner or later, they are going to give up, because they are going to lack motivation. They are going to lack the drive. They're going to lack the environment of success. And I don't want you to suffer that negative fate. And that's why, in order to commit to growth, all you need to do is commit to ongoing learning and implementation. Type into the chat box L and I. Once again, I'm going to do that with you. Type into the chat box learn and implement. Learn and implement. Type L and I into the chat box, because that is how you are going to create accelerated growth. Once again, accelerated growth has got two sides. C stands for commit to growth. And the way you need to do that is by L and I. Learn and implement. Type into the chat box L and I. Learn and implement. And the practical tip to do that, even if you're busy, even if you're a mom like me or a dad, even if you have 10 other things, even if you're living with your parents, or even if you're living in a big family, or if you're living alone, even if you're working multiple jobs, this is absolutely crucial for your success to create accelerated growth, and that is committing to growth. And the way to do that is the number one tip is dedicate 1 hour every single week, minimum. Remember mini habits? To type into the chat box 1 hour L and I, 1 hour every week. 1 hour every single week, dedicate in learning and implementing. Even if you're busy, you can find out that 1 hour. And you know what? For those of you who have been here with me live, like Dr. Kirti, Nazia, Asif, and others who are not interacting, but who are listening, thank you very much. We have almost come towards the end of 1 hour. And in this training, I have given you high level strategies, but I have also given you 1, 2, 3, 4 tips by now. So the fourth tip of this training today is invest in 1 hour every week to learning and growing. If you don't know where you can learn, come and join me on this channel. If you don't know where to learn, book that call with me. I will tell you how you can do continued learning. But C in your ABC model stands for committing to growth. Type in 1 hour of L&I. Thank you very much, Nazia. So every single week, dedicate at least 1 hour to learn and grow. And okay, type into the chat box true or false. Okay, listen to what I'm saying and type in your answer. Is this statement true? If yes, then type true. If not, type false. And the statement is knowledge is power. I'll repeat that. You tell me, is this true or is this false? Knowledge is power. Let me see your answers. Is it true or is it false? Those of you who have been with me for long enough, some of you have been with me for a little over 5 years. Some of you have been with me for 3 years. Some of you have recently joined me just a couple of months ago, weeks ago, days ago. But you have heard me say this over and over and over. Knowledge is power, true or false? What do you think the answer is? Type in your answer and I will take a sip of water. Knowledge is power. Is it true or is it false? I know I'm going to get mixed reactions there. Knowledge is power. Is it true or is it false? Lovely answer. Nazia says true. Thank you, Nazia, for your answer. And in my personal opinion, this statement is only half true. Knowledge is power. Kind of. Knowledge is power, says Dr. Kirti. Thank you. So Nazi and Kirti, both of you agree that knowledge is power. In my opinion, knowledge is not power. I just said that. Listen to me carefully. Knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. Learning is not power. Learning and implementing is power. Hearing to me is not power. Hearing and implementing this in your life is power. Just this morning today, or afternoon, I guess, afternoon, 1 o'clock. So just this afternoon, I was speaking with one of my dear friends who has also been my business mentee for a really long time. He's also a graduate of my Business Income Accelerator Plus program. And one of the beautiful things that he told me today was, hey, Rupa, I just signed up a new client and it is a paid client. And this dear friend of mine is a full-time employee. He is an author, he is a mentor, he is a coach, he is a speaker. And The reason why he got a high ticket paid client today is because he has been doing this ABC and he is implementing everything that he is learning. And the beauty is, even if you implement 10% of what you learned today, you are also going to create magic in your personal life and in your professional life. Okay, so type in applied knowledge is power. Please type that in and give this as a a reminder to yourself. Okay. Even if you know this, great, you know this. Now remind yourself that knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. Please type that into the chat box. Applied knowledge is power. So once again, with that, we have already come to an end of this training and a quick recap. What does ABC stand for? A stands for what? Once you unlock A, you are going to unlock clarity and focus in your life. And A stands for aim with clarity. And the tactic that I gave, the tip that I gave was to create your own SMART goal and your own goal card. Type in A equals aim with clarity. Thank you. Asif says mini habits has been his key takeaway. Thank you very much, Asif. Now, what does B stands for? Once you unlock B, you will never stop. You will never give up, especially when everybody around you have started giving up, when everybody around you has started pushing you down and you cannot take it anymore, but you will not give up because B will help you create consistency. And B stands for build strong habits. And I have given you two tactics. One tactic that I gave, and type in B equals B, build strong habits. Do your own revision. I'm helping you. Do your own revision. Build strong habits. And the two tactics that I gave to you was number one, swap your negative habits with a positive one. And the second tip was create mini habits. Instead of trying to do everything in one go in big, large, fancy way, just do it for 10 minutes. Do it for 15 minutes, but do it consistently for 30 days, for 60 days, for 90 days, for 1 year. That is what will bring in consistency in your life. The last C. C stood for, this is how you create accelerated growth. And C stands for committing to growth. And the number one tip that I gave you was to invest at least 1 hour every single week to do two things. And that is learn and implement. Learn and implement. And those of you who do not know where can you learn and how you can implement, book that free call with me. Once again, that call is free only for the first time when you book it. At this point of time, I'm personally taking those calls, but depending on when you're listening to these trainings, it would be me or one of my head mentees or mentors, coaches, and one of my team members might be taking those calls. But book that call with us to let you know, to help you identify, to help us identify for you how can you create your most accelerated way of creating your dream life. Okay, so that these are the three ABCs, the ABC model for creating your long-term success. Okay, and this is, I love all those answers. Thank you very much. Type into the chat box, what is your one key learning? And type into the chat box. Once again, type in your one key learning. What did you learn? And the second is type into the chat box, how are you feeling? Type in your emotion. Once again, how am I feeling? I was feeling feverish. I was feeling weak before I could come on this call and do this live training for you. But now I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling energetic. I'm feeling very contented, very happy, because I know that I have given my 100% to help you create your ABC, to create your own long-term success path. I have given you more than 3 to 4 tactics that you can implement. And even if you implement 10% of what you have learned today, you are going to create ultimate mini results in your life. And when you create that, come back to me. be nice enough. Let me know, reach out to me, DM me, email me, but reach out to me and let me know how these trainings are helping you. So, how are you feeling? Give me one emotion, give me one message. How are you feeling after this training? And once again, next week, I will join you live at the same time, the same place. And next week's topic is how to optimize your social media profile for business growth. Do you want to create ultimate growth in your business? Then next week, join me in yet another free training, live training, where I will show you how to optimize your social media profiles to create more leads, to get more sales, to get more authority, to be seen, perceived as an expert in your field. So type into the chat box, how are you feeling? I also see that some of you new people have joined in, but we are just about to leave. Kumar Sundaram, thank you very much for joining, sir. So lovely seeing you all. Please type into the chat box, how are you feeling before I go? Before I go. Those of you watching this as recording, thank you very much for sticking with me. Nazia, lots of love to you. Thank you very much for all your interaction. Asif, this is me giving you a shout out. Thank you again for joining my next weekly live training. I will look forward to seeing you in the next week also. Dr. Kirti, in spite of being who you are, where you have decided to invest in your accelerated growth by investing in the weekly learning and implementation. So thank you very much. Kumar Sundaram, I probably don't know so many of you, but thank you very much for joining us live. And those of you who are watching this as a recording, thank you. I will see you next week. Remember, these are free of cost live trainings for a short duration in order to continue getting access to such incredible live trainings. Make sure that you're joining in as a VIP member in our Heart Leaders Club, the link of which I have given in the chat box. So once again, thank you. I will see you in the next week. Dr. Kirti says, happy. I'm also feeling very happy serving you, Dr. Kirti. Thank you very much for joining me live, and I will see you next week where I will show you how to optimize your social media profiles to create more leads, to get more sales, and to be perceived as a subject matter expert. This is me, Rupa Patil, signing off, and thank you very much for being here with me today. See you next week, same place, for yet another free training. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. Stay amazing. Stay blessed.